All right. Let's go, everybody. We've got Clem in the top left side of the map up against REYNOR in the bottom. Team Liquid versus Basilisk. GG. And that is a proxy Rax. Wait, what? Oh, he's doing a barracks gas wall off with a second barracks proxy, but he sent this SCV out much earlier than was necessary. What a peculiar opening. So this is a 2 Rax Reaper opening. That'll give him a little bit of momentum. Wait. Is he going to build Marines? Okay. REYNOR goes for the 3rd hatchery while the Reapers are harassing. Marines come out, you build a bunker, you cancel the 3rd with Marines in a bunker. Is that the goal? Or is it just 2 Rax Reaper? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. We're going to see what happens here. But I definitely feel like Clem's got some sort of tricky next level play up his sleeve. This is, of course, a group stage match from the Masters Coliseum, guys. It is a round robin stage in the Group B. One of the best groups. REYNOR, Clem, Hero in this group. Obviously, Group A had Max Pack, Serral, and Maru. So these two are probably the most stacked groups, but all the groups have so many good players. It's such a stacked tournament. And as he comes in with the Overlord, he should continue REYNOR. Seeing no second barracks, he's going to see the second depot, though. Second depot tells him it's a proxy. So he knows there's another barracks out there now. He has to know that. Because otherwise, why would there be a second depot this early, right? Am I thinking correctly on that? I feel like that depot is too early otherwise. Interesting. It is double Rax Reaper production for now, guys. He goes Command Center before 3rd Reaper. Oh, is this just a 2 Reaper opening? Oh, Clem, a bit slow on his 3rd Reaper. I think it's more important to get the Reaper started than the Command Center, in my opinion. We'll see how we go. Drone is hiding, ready to take that 3rd base. If he starts building Marines out of that definitely could be effective. Reaper's going to look for some damage. Oh, okay. Ling's forced forward already. A Zergling going down and a few units taking damage. Oh, I like that. Buys himself time there with the Evo Chamber. Queen pops out. Evo Chambers. Oh, Clem gets a drone though. God, he's so fast. Drone is now going to go to the left side, I believe, or even go back to the natural. Reaper's trying to fight those queens. So far, pretty good D. And he's starting to build a Marine at home and still Reaper's out of the front. So REYNOR falling back on 2 base right now. He's going to try and drone those 2 bases up. He didn't inject the natural by the looks of it. Or if he did, it's already gone and spent that lava. Ling's trying to chase him off for now. Ling speed is on the way. REYNOR needs to hold that drone key down. He's getting forced into a lot more Zerglings here. It is a 4 Reaper commitment, which is not that heavy. Oh my lord. Oh my gosh. That queen's getting low. That queen's getting low. Queen's getting real low, big guy. Nice Black Widowing there of that queen. Takes her down. And, careful with those Reapers. Very close to the ramp. But REYNOR's kind of contained on 2 base. It's not just that he's contained. It's 3 minutes 30, and he's only got 10 drones on the natural. Which tells you he hasn't flooded those drones out. Remember when Serral's playing against this with a 15-15, he's already got that natural fully saturated by this point, even against a 2 Rax Reaper build. But that forward barracks has added some nice momentum for Clem to really put REYNOR on the ropes. But, oh, good surround. Gets all but 1 Reaper. I think that's a very good engage for REYNOR. Shuts it down now. Gets his 3rd base started, and I think he's out of the most dangerous part of the game. That being said, Clem... Oh! Really? I could have sworn he was going to go for a couple of Hellions there, but he decides to build a few more Marines right now, interestingly. Gonna get a few Marines behind that wall, but that means you can't lift up and swap around. Not without danger of those Lings running in and just straight up killing you. Gotta be careful, mate. Careful, mate. Careful. Get there. He's got to get a unit on the right side as well to push REYNOR back. Oh, you mad dog! Mad dog, Clem. REYNOR was clearly waiting for that, and Clem just does it in his face like a psychopath. Dude, these kids are insane. He thinks about building a bunker because he thinks he might be getting Bane busted, and then he decides against it and says, yeah, I doubt it. Oh, man. These kids always do the riskiest things, I swear. Like, that just doesn't work if you're an old man. If you're an old man gamer, those Lings run in your base and you lose the game. But Clem and REYNOR are both so fast, and he positioned the barracks pretty much perfectly. So when he told it to land, it could instantly land. He didn't have to wait a second. Queen's trying to group up there. Creep Tumor's going down. Roach Horn's on the way as well. 2 gases pumping out more and more drones, and Lings are chilling. 7 Queens coming up, so... It's the fake Ling Queen opening. Make it look like you're playing Ling Bane and then go Roaches. It's a good style. Clem is known for straight up dying to this. Him and Maru, I always say, is the 2 Terrans that are just too good. Sometimes for their own good. They just think they can just attack with Marines and tanks, even after they see Roach play. But I really am always waiting for the time when, hey, they spot roaches, they focus their buildings and defenses on this area with the tanks, maybe even the tanks back here early on if it's a very fast roach attack, and be very cautious. But what REYNOR's aiming to do is just with the queens and lings, if he can deflect the first marine pressure and not show the roaches, that'd be great. But he hasn't built enough lings to do that, so he's going to have to show his roaches. So he's not going to get away with his sneaky roach play. It's just showing his hand. The roaches have been spotted, and siege tank production is continuing. Double upgrades on the way. Third barracks pumping reactors. Fourth and fifth barracks on the way as well. Clem's going to pick up, drop towards the main base. There's a few lings. If they get right underneath, you can't really drop there. Just got to guard the corners. He always wants to unload in the corners. Look at that. He keeps trying to catch REYNOR out of position. Ends up dropping on the low ground a little bit. Low ground, high ground, low ground, high ground. Oh, he does end up getting that drop on the high ground. Nicely done by Clem. Gets a few units, loses a bit of damage and only a single marine. Not too bad. 66 drones versus 55 SCVs. This doesn't feel great for REYNOR right now. This feels... Oh, man. Clem catches the queens. One goes down. Second one falls. And, oh, he's going to get it. No, he doesn't want to throw any units away. Really focusing on preserving his unit count as Clem. Oh, he's going to drop marines on top. A little bit brave. He loses a bunch of those marines. But then, once those marines all get unloaded, they do take out those roaches pretty handily. Still a Reaper in the drop as well, funnily enough. Oh, still a good critical mass of Marine Reaper. Getting some good fights. 500 minerals lost for Clem, or 500 resources to 1,500. 3-1 units lost to have nothing to scoff at. Second factory's on the way, as well as the armory. And the armory is a little late to start 1-1. Those upgrades finish, and 2-2 not able to start straight away. Marines still being a nuisance. REYNOR's creep spread sucks on this right side of the map. If I'm REYNOR right here, I'm expecting to have to give up this hatchery at some point and expand to the bottom left or that center base. He's got to try to get that creep back out on that side. More marines going across the map. Notice the tanks are in a very safe position, so Clem is preparing to give up this base if he has to. He does have a lot of depots on the low ground, which means lifting the base does lose a bit of infrastructure, but 4 depots isn't going to break the bank. Infestors on the way already for REYNOR. REYNOR's trying to go Infestors right now. No way. Going to see a Hive start up next, but he doesn't have the gas for it. He's trying to go 8 gas, 81 drone. It's going to be just mass Roach Ravager Infestor for a while, trying to hold on against the onslaught of Marines. Roach is trading with Marines. Marines have more firepower, but the Roach numbers are good, and his Roach speed in 1-1 kick in a moment. That upgrade advantage is going to disappear for Clem. Clem still has not built a 4th command center. He's still trying to fight these Roaches. He's got that upgrade advantage, but a little bit derpy on the pickup micro. Does at least clear the creep on the left side, though. Marines coming back in on the right. They've been very good at clearing this creep, keeping him back. And Clem needs to get out. There's no way that's worth it. All right, single Hellbat on the left side. Looks like that just got F2. That is an F2 if I've ever seen one. He was meant to be scouting for a hatchery in the bottom left. He's going to get one-tapped by those Zerglings. And look at that. Hatchery goes up for REYNOR. Cancel. Goes down immediately. Fungal could be game-changing right now, but those tanks are already getting into a killer position. Where are those Infestors, guys? They're coming forward. They do not have Fungal just yet. They will soon. They've been spotted by the scan. Clem needs to make sure he avoids being clumped up for that Fungal. Tanks moving forward. Oh, this position's brutal. As I said, you're going to have to give this hatchery up as REYNOR, but it doesn't seem he's mentally prepared for that. He thinks he can still hold on here. He does bile down one of the tanks, gets a medevac, and a decent Fungal. Gets a pretty good pack of the Marines. Unfortunately, one of his Infestors already got shot down by the tanks. Biles are going to start clearing the siege tanks up. The Marines are doing pretty well. It's equal upgrades right now. If he can get rid of the last tank, I think REYNOR's okay. The Marine line holding strong. The Queens, though, with their transfuse, adding just enough there to hold on. Drop into the main base, opportunistically looking for more damage. Clem diving in. His Marines deep in the red, but he's going to find a few workers for his trouble. And the Queen count, remember, has already been severely reduced. No more Infestors building right now, just Roaches, Zerglings, +2 range does finally start on that Evo chamber as well. It's going to try and redrop the south. REYNOR held onto the base, guys. I said he needs to prepare to give up the base. REYNOR says, Pig, I don't give up ground for free. I hold onto that ground. That's what the Roach Ravager is for. It's a very good comp for stopping Terran pushes. And maybe, in hindsight, Clem would have been better off pushing slightly later. I thought it was going to make it work. And it still wasn't the worst trade for him. Marines on the left trying to trade. Ooh, dodges the bile at the last second. 4th command center is morphing into a planetary on the right side. Remember, +1 vehicle weapons and 2-2 are finished. We'd love to see 2-2 starting up in the near future. Now, you often see him select those engineering bays, and you might be thinking it's because he's looking at the upgrades. It's actually just because he puts his engineering bays on his command center hotkeys. Notice he has command centers, and then he tabs over to engineering bays and armories. So, oh, fungal! Bile doesn't really connect, so a bunch of the Marines do get saved. Good save there by CLEM, and just shows the damage output of Roach Ravager is not that high. Their attack speed very slow as well. Lurker Den, double Lurker Den on the way as well. It's +3 armor. 2 Vipers are on the field. 2 Infestors, 2 Vipers, a lot of Roach Ravager, and of course that Lurker Tech will be next on the menu. No gas for Hydra upgrades though, and that's always a bit of a pain. You want those Hydra upgrades, at least the movement speed, to give them a little bit more ability. When you get caught pre-morphing Lurkers, you need those Hydras to be able to do a decent job of fighting. Fungal does go forward. Oh, he goes for the in-between. Was hoping the medevacs would continue north. Clem's too good for that. And Clem's baiting out a lot of these Fungals without them really... I mean, they're stopping his harassment, but it's wasting all the Infestor energy. So they're both empty. They're dry on juice right now. Clem's got 4 bases. He's going for a 5th command center. He's got an extra barracks right now. Where are his extra barracks? Oh, he only built tech labs on 2 of them. That one, okay, he does notice and builds a tech lab now. He hasn't set a rally point though, so he does have a few idle ghosts in the main. He's got to be careful about that. Sometimes an F2 can actually help you out in this sort of scenario, but at this stage of the game, rare for you to be wanting to F2. So hopefully Clem realizes doesn't end up with a whole lot of 10, 20 supply ghosts and marauders in the main. And he looked back in his main, but his screen was here. So it's very hard to notice. There we go, F2. Whole army just got grabbed to the right side of the map, and he needed to do that. He's leaving a few tanks around. 3 on the left base, 1 on the right base. The rest of the army's going to go up the guts. First 4 lurkers are on the field for REYNOR, though. He's got seismic spines and adaptive talons on the way. Baneling Nest is starting. REYNOR's thinking about going back into more of a Ling Hydra comp, but he doesn't have those Hydra upgrades started yet. Good fungal combo. Takes out a few Marines, but once again, difficult to finish on those without having lurkers or Hydras attacking. Nice snipes coming down. Oh, Ravagers just came forward and biled a tank, though. Good job. Command Center is moving forward to this base. More Command Center is trying to be added behind it, as he knows he's going to need more orbitals as this game goes on. And REYNOR's going to try and swap back into that more melee-focused style. He's got Adrenal. +1 melee is getting close to finished. The Lurker Infestor hanging out on the right. Feels like this one's going to go to late game. REYNOR is not a big fan of late game. Clem's been getting better at it, but he's no Maru himself. Both of these guys are twitchy, ADHD children, essentially. They are like, man, I want to play, I want to fight, I want to fight, I want to fight. I don't think of either of these guys as particularly patient in their play. Their biggest strength is their speed and their aggression. And it's always curious to see who manages to kind of adjust to the slower pace of this late game. It looks like Clem so far has a little bit more control on that right side, taking out a bunch of those lurkers. Fungal would be nice. He does. Fungal catches 1 or 2 of those, but I feel like REYNOR needs to jump on top of this front of the army. This is only a small section of units. All of his roaches just got cleaned up on the left. Really good fights right now for Clem. Clem is still 5,000 resource there in the units, lost, snipes another lurker, and then pulls on back. Really well done. A few abducts on those ghosts could be good as well, but look at this, man. The lurkers are just getting sieged down. The tank spread behind it, and then the Marine ghost just kind of venturing forth and finding openings. Mass Baneling's on the way. +2 melee does start up. REYNOR wants to start jumping on this with a fast Hydra army. He's completely forgot his Hydra upgrades, guys. Oh no. He's going for Hydraling Bane Viper, but he's forgotten Hydra upgrades. Oh me, oh my. The pressure from Clem is too great. REYNOR doesn't have time to go around double checking for upgrades. It's only going to be after a big battle that he potentially realizes those Hydras suck. They're going to have 1 less range and a lot less movement speed than they should. Here we go. Lurker's getting sniped 1 more time. He's coming in with a big surround. Where are the Vipers? Blinding Cloud lands on 1 or 2 of the siege tanks. Good enough spread that it looks like he'll break through the tank line. The Hydra's so slow and awkward behind this, though. REYNOR needs to fall back right now. Let's see if REYNOR realizes after that fight that those Hydras were lagging behind. They look very awkward, he realizes. He queues up both Hydra upgrades here. Better late than never, but better early than late. Definitely right now, REYNOR's somewhere in the middle of all that. Does get a few more units sniped. He's stuck here. He can't get out of this contain, but the Lings will overwhelm the tank line. And that's an essential hold. He's got a respread creep. He needs to spread creep on the left as well. He's got 95 workers. REYNOR can dance in this next few minutes for a while. But for now, the trading, 7,000 resource lost advantage. Clem is trading better. He's getting his orbitals up. He's got an extra planetary with 2 tanks behind it on that base. More and more orbitals, so he's trying to build towards that iron bank. He's up to 5. Fungal flank comes in from the right. Oh, but Clem is so slick. He boosts in a medevac. Oh my god, that was some deep in Cambodia and 72 stuff, man. That was, oh man, that pilot got him out of there just in time. The tanks are getting taken out, trying to fall back right now. The Banelings coming on forwards. Oh! And here we go. Bile's going down. We've got Snipes going down. Hydras and Ravagers falling as well. This is way too expensive for Reynor. He just doesn't have the army to push this back. And every time he loses an army, Clem's right in on top of him, takes out a base, and Reynor has to give up this right side hatchery. You know, this might actually be something he should have done earlier in hindsight. Maybe if he did a big backstab with like most of his army to the left, created some more movement. But whenever they're in a standoff where they're right next to each other, the tanks and the ghosts will win those trades. And that's a problem because now Reynor loses another hatchery as a result. Yeah, he's got a few freshies over on the left, a few fresh bases. He'll need to take some gases on him as well, but he's going to have a chance to remax. The problem is this just gives even more time for, guess what, +3 vehicle weapons, Blue Flame. That means he's going to have Hellbats that one-shot Lings. Fusion Core in a second stomp, what means he's heading to Range Liberators. The command center count, the orbital count is now up to 6. So he's getting closer and closer to the Iron Bank. I always say 7 is like kind of an Iron Bank. 8 or 9 orbitals is amazing. That's when you have unlimited scans and mules. That's when you can start throwing SCVs away as well. But Clem's been making so many planetaries that he's not as quick on the orbital growth. And that's all right. Better safe than sorry. He's scanning around the left side of the map. He sees that Reynor has not started mining any of his hatcheries out on his side. So Clem feels really confident. On Dragon Scales right now, he's just got all the momentum. And it's definitely Reynor that's kind of reeling from this whole early game aggression. The Reapers put him on the back foot. He can't seem to get back in control. Now, that is not the biggest army. It's a pack of Marines and Ghosts with a single lib and now a single tank behind it. Most of the entrenched position is still on the right side. Oh, Fungal from behind! Reynor popped up, Fungal the medevac bio, Ghost up there, very nicely done. Some of the units still getting out. The Hydras now have their upgrades. You can see they're so much quicker to close in behind the front row. EMP! Shut down those Vipers hard, though. EMP just hit them. They were going to abduct or blinding cloud all those tanks. He's got to get out of there. The Bio chasing after. Snipes as well. Lots of Hydras going down. 72 Malings are on the way. We're going to need another round of Banelings and I think a flank. I'd love to see Reynor come around this left side and look to flank from there. There is a sensor tower, which is, of course, creating problems, though. You see these circles right now. This is the point. For those who don't know, Olympic Terran is what he's just hit. Not only does he have the 6 orbitals with a bunch more making, he's making a 7th right now, but he's just hit the Olympic rings on the minimap. When you have the Olympic rings on a small map like Dragon Scales, it's very bad for the Zerg because you literally see like a good 45% of the map at all times. Like, you can't really surprise this Terran. And if he gets entrenched in this center area, even though it's low ground, that's so bad for Reynor, man. Reynor's running out of options here. He's going to try to make Broodlords, I think. This is tough. Snipes coming in. Uh-oh, the Lurkers. You got to pull back your Lurkers from here. Reynor, I really think one thing he's been slipping up on is not pulling his Lurkers back from these angles. He's going to come in with a Ling Infestor flank. He fungals 5 of those Ghosts. The Infestor does get blasted, and once again saving a few of these Ghosts at the last second, but a decent number of Ghosts went down that time. Oh, but the way he's got these tanks behind these cliffs, even with the Blinding Cloud, the Bio Ghost does perfectly fine there. Some abducts on the libs would be nice. Those Vipers a little bit slow to get that. And look at that on the right side. Clem holds onto his position. The units lost have 17,000 resource advantage. Feels like Clem has just never let Reynor get any momentum in this game. And the double abduct on the Ghost there just to get a single Ghost kill. The Bio Ghost runs down to the right side. Reynor, just this base has been under threat all game long. A few Lings split through. Nicely done. Still only +2 melee. Reynor's been under a lot of pressure. He has not remembered to start +3. Snipe does go off on that Lurker. Barely gets out of there. The Viper's going to pull back as well. They need to start sucking energy, and they need to do it quick, fast. Mass Ling Lurker trying to create space, but Clem is so entrenched on his side of the map. One more Lurky boy from behind. That Infestor goes down. Infestor from behind lands a decent Fungal. Gets a few of those units, but the Hellbats are one-shotting those Zerglings right now. Oh, the Hellbats one-shotting the Zerglings. The Zergling heavy comp is getting ravaged. Napalm to the face. Oh man, those critters are getting toasted. Smells like barbecue. All right, Clem with a nice game 1 momentum strat. Game 2, I'm expecting 3 command center opening. He hasn't scouted yet. Let's see if he sends his SCV scout across the map. And he is. Okay, so he's going to do a little bit of safety there. REYNOR is known for cheesing and doing pull first openings and stuff, so he's still playing safe against that. And REYNOR, last game doesn't feel good. It's one of those games, the other guy kind of has his boot on your neck the whole game. You just can't get up. Like, you know, it's the... you're getting manhandled by one of the Dagestani boys in the UFC, you know, or something like that. You're just kind of like, oh, this isn't even fair, man. I didn't get a chance to do anything. And that's kind of what CLEM is best at. If CLEM can get on top of you, he'll pick you up like Hamzat and take you over to the side while shouting at Dana, something like that. Anyways, factory's on the way. Link speed's coming up. Drones coming in. Looks like a very standard opening. Let's see if CLEM can get a bit of tax. REYNOR should not be losing any units. Maybe one Zergling is okay, but you do not want to lose a drone here. You do not want to lose a drone, man. Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, REYNOR a bit too greedy. You got to respect the CLEM Reaper, especially on these small maps. Third command center goes down right on time, 2 minutes 41. And he looks even for a creep tumor snipe. If REYNOR had hurried the creep tumor, he would have got the snipe on that. CLEM is so dangerous with his Reaper. I'll never forget watching... we haven't had a crazy rush map in a while in the map pool. It's like insanely short, but Beckett Industries had an insanely fast rush distance of like 28 seconds or something. And watching Cyril play that map versus CLEM on his stream and how stressed he looked, and he's just complaining about how broken, how overpowered CLEM's Reaper was, and just being like, this is why you have to open pool first versus CLEM on this map, because if the rush distance short, his Reaper micro is so good, like you just can't do a standard 16 hatchery versus CLEM on a really small map and expect to not lose things. Like CLEM would kill 2 drones versus players on that map if they did a 16 hatch. Reaper gets a creep tumor snipe, very nicely done. Don't get me wrong, guys, as much as we rave, I know there's a few of you out there watching this game in the comments who are, CLEM's bad, he's not even that good, I know you guys don't like it because we talk about how fast and impressive CLEM is on a physical level. Oh, hold that thought. But he's very weak to backstabs, and the strategies catch him off guard when his opponents play correctly against him. REYNOR's doing it very well right now. Nice Hellion positioning. Great SCV micro. What the hell? He didn't lose a single SCV. That was an 8 Zergling run by. He didn't lose a single SCV or Hellion or Marine. He used the choke points between the buildings perfectly. That is why we're so impressed by CLEM. That is why we're so impressed by CLEM. It's his ability to do that. Don't get me wrong. We will criticize CLEM a lot as casters and experts in the game because he will make tactical and strategic errors. He sometimes attacks when he really should defend, but when it comes to the speed, mechanical aspect, he is simply impressive. He is simply impressive. Yes, he will make strategic errors. Yes, I do think he could pick better builds sometimes. And when we talk about how good CLEM is, we're not saying he's the best player of all time. But when it comes to those sort of just speedy, micro interactions, his reaction speed, his control, I don't know if there's a player as good as CLEM in that regard. Oh, he's trying to fight. It's a little bit ambitious. I don't know if I agree with this move. Oh, his Banshee just got sniped by Queens on the other side. He was trying to distract REYNOR there, but he literally just lost his first Banshee. This Queen has a Banshee kill. Oh, that's very bad for CLEM. Very bad. Uh-oh. So the reason I brought that up is because I see a lot of people hating on CLEM in the comments of different videos and in tournament chats as well. If there's a big tournament I'm casting and I look at like the video later in the chat, there's always someone, anytime anything goes wrong for CLEM or he's losing a game, there's always people in the chat going, in quotation marks, oh, best Terran in the world, yeah. Best TVZ in the world, right? Yeah. And I'm like, oh my god, you guys are taking way too much joy in CLEM losing games. There's people who took it really personal when we said CLEM was better than Maru in TVZ a few years ago. When he was on a 45 best of 3 win streak in the matchup. And these people are like, no, how dare you say anyone's better than Maru? Maru's my favorite. Don't you ever say anyone's better than him at anything. Oh, it's good stuff. I like that people get passionate about sports, you know? That's part of what it is. I think they're kind of unhinged in how they talk about things sometimes in regular sports and StarCraft, but it's good to see they're passionate enough to have such emotional outbursts. He does build a third Banshee, which is kind of weird. So he replaces the first one, he dies. At least he still has 2, which can do lethal damage. And there's only 1 Queen in the main, so it might actually catch REYNOR off guard a little. Second factory's coming up pretty early as well, so it's 5 barracks, double upgrades going, kind of decently timed. Second factory very early. Looks like a pretty slow build up here for Clem. These Banshees just going to try to find some damage. I actually don't think Banshees are ever really good versus Reynor. I think he's so good at shutting down Banshees. I've never seen a Banshee opening do particularly well. I would have liked 3 command center into 2-1-1. I think that's a better way to get some momentum going as Clem. But hey, he gets 4 drones, makes it 5. Good micro, man. Pulls back out of spore range, baits the queens in for a few shots. Oh, he even gets a queen. You tricky boy. Nice. He's out of cloak. He needs to go home. He'll go home, repair those up, and use those to defend Ling Bane run-bys for the rest of this game. People pointing out in the chat, a good point. At least there's no people jumping on top of cars, flipping them, lighting them on fire, and smashing bus stops after their player wins in StarCraft. Football hooligans. What's the worst country for that, by the way? I feel like it's so funny when I hear it, when news of that stuff. I'm like, that is crazy. Don't think we have too much of it going that far in Australia. They tried to. There was like one big one where they ran on field after a soccer match, as we call it, and started like some of the guys tried to like kind of assault some of the players and stuff, and it's been fun seeing them all get like arrested afterwards and all get banned for life from ever watching any more matches and stuff. And they're like, no. Apparently soccer came from England originally as a term, guys. I found that out the other day. From Northern England or Scotland or something they called it soccer. Wasn't actually an American thing originally. Oh! Mass Ling run by coming in for Reynor. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You know what? It could have been worse. I think he holds on okay. The Banshees really help out. He'll lose a lot of Marines, but the Widow Mines do help. He loses 4 SCVs. Most of all, it's a distraction, though. Baneling speed's almost ready. He needs 20 seconds. Reynor needs to buy time. Spreads a few Banelings forward to clear the front layer. There is that scary Widow Mine on the high ground. A Queen should take that. He should just let the Queen take the Widow Mine. Yeah, nice. He lets her take it, transfuses it back up. Oh, this wall of Queens is holding strong, and Bane speed only 10 seconds out. Just needs to buy a few more seconds, but the Queens are starting to fall. Oh, it's almost pure Bane. There's no Zerglings here. As long as the Marines don't clump up, they'll do okay against it, but Reynor does hang on for now. Oh, mine drop coming in the south. Mine drop coming in the south. Reynor's going to be distracted up here. Does he notice? Widow Mine's only going to shoot. Notice they don't shoot on lava automatically anymore. Widow Mines used to be really dumb and waste all their shots on lava, so that's actually a really good change from the last patch we don't talk about much. Widow Mines, oh, he's getting quite a few shots, as long as he shoots the non-gas ones. Nice. Burrow, unburrow, micro, but Reynor's already got the drone there. Only 1 extra drone. So very good micro by Reynor to avoid catastrophic damage. 10 drones, nothing to scoff at though, and more Widow Mine drops coming in. Clem's going to try and overwhelm him with these Widow Mine drops while adding all of this other stuff. The Widow Mines are going to be shooting these workers. Oh, that's a big juicy. Reynor caught with his pants down. Oh, that was a nasty one. Okay, Reynor's not happy about that. He's had a good economic base, and I think he had a good position in this game after like killing the Banshee earlier. But look, Clem kills the Overlord on the pillar. He's got a 4th base up, 5th command center building there. His factories are moving around right now. What the hell? He's building a 3rd factory, so he's going to have 2 on tech labs, 1 on a reactor. What? But is it just because he's worried about lurkers? That's kind of odd. I thought he'd stay 1 on a reactor and then just build a tech lab down here. It's an odd way of doing it. He's building 3 more barracks as well. Dropper Lord coming in. Looks like it's going to be a lurker drop attempt into the main, and then maybe put 1 up on this ledge above that mineral line. Reynor's on 90 workers. His lurker range is starting. +2 melee is almost finished as well, so we'll probably see him start 3-3, or maybe go +1 range, +3 carapace soon. And up on how many gases? 8 gases for Reynor, so not a big gas bank, but he doesn't have a lot of money in general, so it's more important for him to keep his minerals high for now. Give himself a little bit of a buffer. -25 drones still ahead in workers. Yeah, it was -25 over about a minute and a half, guys. It was kind of spread out. It was sequences of damage there. It was those stacking on top, so it wasn't like he killed 25 in one go. It was over about a minute of Widow Mines popping off, and that's up against a Zerg that was already on 80 drones. This stage of the game, you could kill 20 SCVs. He'll be back up at 80 within a few seconds as well. That's the way 4 and 5 base works. It's not the same as killing 20 drones 4 minutes into the game. Got to remember perspective in StarCraft. Situations matter. Context matters. Oh, no, Clem. Oh, all the Marines so low, but they barely get out of there. Oh man, this game is very close right now. Units lost tab. I haven't been checking in. It's only 1,000 in favor of Clem, so that's pretty good for Reynor. And the big problem on this map for Terran is where do you take your 5th? I've always felt this base into this base on the top is the best one. Almost every Terran tries to take this base in the bottom, even though it's so far away. The big no-no, no matter which side you go for, though, is don't expand to both sides at once. Ooh. Oh, good transfuses. Only gets a single queen. Doesn't lose any units, though, so it is a freebie. And look at that. Reynor runs in. There's a tank and a planetary with a Widow Mine in front of it, and Reynor's like, okay, I can never attack here for the rest of this game. Putting that planetary there is so smart for Clem. Lurker Drop gets in the back door, though. Lurker Drop gets in. That guy is going to reach that mineral line a little bit as well, but Sniper already coming in. Lurker's running away. I like that quick micro pullback, moving his Lurkers around to be as annoying as possible. The army at the front is looking for a way in. Clem has set himself up so he only has to focus on that bottom side. Because he's got the planetary tank entrenched on his 3rd, he hasn't made the mistake most players have of leaving one side undefended. Where are the scans? Where the hell are the scans? He doesn't have scans. While he's distracted, Raider's going to try to catch him. But the bio on the right, away from the Banelings, a good tank spready. Watch out for those Banelings, though. Don't want to break those rocks, Reynor. Oh, no. Clem. Oh, the Banelings blow up the Marines and detonate the rocks at the same time. Looks like a scan finally came in and did clean up in the main. Depot is going to burn down there in the main base, unfortunately, for Clem. But he averted disaster. That was a very scary situation. Reynor was trying to distract him, be annoying with the Lurkers so he could find the opening, but those Marines were on the left and the Banelings were on the right, and the Banelings were on the left. So he just didn't find the target. Maybe he could have blown up the planetary, but we'll see how it goes. Looks like they had to do a pause while playing this game live. Reynor's already got one of the middle bases mining. I've talked a lot about this, how, take those forward bases, and Reynor has become, I think, the best Zerg in the world at taking forward bases and trying to mine them out early on. I ranted watching so many of his games for the last few years about how he never did it when he should have against Maru turtling, and I actually think he's evolved and become one of the best at this. I think he does it even better than Sterile most of the time, so I really want to see him fully saturate this base in the bottom middle as well as when it comes up. And as much as I like the ability to try to take this base, I admit it's incredibly dangerous, and I understand why he doesn't try that. But maybe the bottom left would be a decent idea. Wait, Clem built a planetary here, and now he's expanding to the top base? What? That doesn't make sense. Does it? I mean, I prefer this base location in general. I just feel like there's no reason to have a planetary here. You should have a planetary here instead, because that's going to become the backstab angle on the bottom. Because now this planetary is just like sitting behind your army, which is not really where you want it. You normally want your army behind the planetary. Snipes coming in. A couple queens will get popped. A couple Lurkers going to take some shots as well, but Lurker's landing some hits. Ling's going to try to run in front. He's going for it! Reynor, the Mad Dog, going for it! The Banelings going for those ghosts. A few of them do get saved. A few of them are... Oh, Parasitic Bomb, the medevac, nice. The SCVs will get cleaned up. Abduct there. I don't know if he can get rid of it. I think he's going to get sniped, though. Get out of there. You can't take out the command center, Reynor. You can't take out the command center. The Ghosts coming forward, trying to get more damage. But actually, if he can get rid of them, that'll be good. The Planetary in reserve. It was there for a purpose, Pig, you idiot. See? The Planetary stopped him from chasing him. Definitely, though, it does feel like I think Clem was planning to take the bottom and then changed his mind with this planetary placement. Baneling's in behind the base. They're kind of trapped right now. Oh, they're getting blasted. That tank on the left is in such a killer position, man. Trying to run forward is Reynor. Yeah, look at these tank positions. I love it. I love the way... Just keep most of your tanks back there. Historically, Clem's biggest mistake in these scenarios is he'll unsiege all of his tanks and he'll just put them out here, get them all killed. You want to have your tanks layered back. You want this to be a terrible spot for the Zerg to want to engage. Set up those layers of traps. Now, Reynor's been very busy, so he hasn't had time to transfer to the bottom. He's got great 95 worker income, but he needs to make sure he takes those bases forward this one, and he should be trying to mine the bottom left, because there's no way Clem can take that bottom left while holding this top area. It's your job as the Zerg to take him out. Reynor's just going to look to overwhelm. He's going for it right now. Blinding Cloud on the planetary and the siege tank. Of course, the planetary can still shoot at melee range. The siege tank cannot. The Lingbane Hydra washes up. The Bio Ghost pulls back on the south. Very efficient fight on the bottom for Clem. But he loses 10 SCVs in the planetary, and that's all that matters for Reynor. He's got so much income, he doesn't need to be cost efficient. He's down 6,000 resources. That's good. When you're mining up 3 bases and 30 workers, he doesn't care. He's just going to remax on Lingbane Hydra, suck some energy with his Viper, probably needs a second one, and then he's going to go again. So the Ghost comes in, tries to snipe the Viper. A bit of a YOLO there for Clem. Remember, when Clem gets in trouble, Clem tends to whip it out when he should probably be tucking it away. These tanks need to fall back. He's putting one back there. He's going to put one, I would like one up here behind here. What you want is you want the Zerg units to get scattered a little bit, even though they won't clump up as much. If you get a tank there, and then you pull all the SCVs to the left, it's like all the Lingbane Hydra doesn't really have any way of like collapsing on you, and the spells especially are very inefficient. You can see right now he's focusing his defense down this ramp towards that planetary. The Bio Ghost trying to fall back. It's so many Banelings rolling in. The base is going to get ransacked again. Is it costly? It's quite costly for him, but he's clearing up most of the siege tanks. 24 SCVs. The orbital gets lifted. These messy, sloppy army versus army trades on the south look terrible for REYNOR. But you've got to put it in the context of the only reason it looks terrible is because he's, you know, Clem is pulling back into that choke. And as he pulls back into the choke, Clem's whole army is not defending the economy. The economy just kept getting smashed. Lurkers got in on the natural at the same time. Clem just could not keep up. He was out of money. And REYNOR was mining 8 bases at that point. There was just too much of a numbers advantage. GG. All right, guys, going into game 3. REYNOR in the top left side of the map. And he's up against a 2-Rax Reaper from Clem on REYNOR's favorite map, Neo Humanity. You guys know REYNOR loves this map, and especially after the way game 1 went, and then the way game 2 tried to get into that turtle late game that he hates. I mean, I think REYNOR, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna make a hard prediction. I think REYNOR tries to go mutas because he always plays mutas on this map to try and avoid the turtle situation, number 1, and then I think Clem knows that, so I think Clem might try to just shove him with Widow Mines. He might try to play Bio Widow Mine Parade push and push really hard. Ooh, REYNOR barely keeps that drone alive. Good micro so far. Gotta be careful. What?
Scam train level 5. Let's go. Choo choo.
What is happening? Oh my god, I didn't even... Guys, for those watching on YouTube, I'm sorry. I didn't even know that could happen. I literally have my live alerts turned off, but Turt McSquirt, the best name in Twitch chat, has just given us a big gift of subs. Thank you so much. That climbed on top of this. There's a whole bloody wave going. For those watching this on YouTube, I apologize, but big thank you. Those sound effects aren't even meant to come through. You literally just broke my stream with your massive waves of support. I think Mr. Big got in there as well with 5 gifters. Thank you so much, everyone who's subbing. And we'll commentate the game and give you guys even more props afterwards. That is absolutely wild support all the way to level 8 Hype Train. Thank you so much. Oh, he gets the cancel. The 4 Reaper, actually 5 Reaper commitment is really big. He gets the cancel. REYNOR under pressure right now. Clem mixing things up by going more Reapers. I always felt like being so predictable by just playing the same 3 Reapers every game wasn't the greatest unless you're a wizard like Beyond. 1 Reaper goes down, but 2 drones and a hatchery cancel. That's a pretty good start. Behind it, 3rd command center. Factory has gone up behind that. We're going to see a starport. So he's just going to go into double drop marine pressure. If he follows that up with Widow Mines, this is going to be fantastic play. REYNOR rebuilding his 3rd. Don't get me wrong, guys. If anyone can bounce back from a start like that, it's REYNOR. He's got 17 Lings, which if those Reapers present themselves, he can surround and kill them. Obviously, he was worried about it getting cancelled again, so he kind of had to build that. For those who don't know, we're getting some info from our Twitch chat researcher, Jamie in Twitch chat, aka Zurashi, just looked it up. If you have 6 Reapers, it's actually significantly better than 5 Reapers because you can one-shot both Workers and Zerglings. That makes sense because they do 8 damage. There's no armor this early in the game, so 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 5 should be 40, but because of Zerg regen, you're never all shooting at the same time, so you won't be able to kill the drones. So with 5 times 8, you also can't quite one-shot a Zergling, because 5, a Zergling will survive on 1 hit point, and a drone will survive on 6 hit points. So that's why getting 6 Reapers is kind of like a critical mass. The problem is, by the time you get 6 Reapers, normally there's enough Queens out, and Ling speed is getting close, so you don't get that much of a window to do damage with it, but really cool to think about that. I never really thought about how many Reapers it takes to one-shot units, and I think that's why, if you think about it, they normally stop at 3, because then it's 2 shots, whereas at 2 Reapers, you're going to take so many, you know, 4 volleys? Did I just say that right? 4 volleys? No. I'm not good with numbers. 3 volleys as opposed to 2. I'm like, that's not how maths works. I'm going to stop. Very quick double Evo. REYNOR's trying to play greedy upgrades this game. 53 drones versus 42 SCVs. 1-1 upgrades are on the way right now. Double medevac drop moving down the left. REYNOR should probably just take that hatchery on the right side if he's got too much pressure over here. Got plenty of Queens and Lings, but remember, with the style REYNOR's playing, he will not have early Lair and Baneling Nest. Like, the Lair hasn't started, neither has the Baneling Nest, and he needs to start them right now. Clem's doing a very good job of just applying pressure to distract him. REYNOR needs that Lair right now. There we go. Lair Baneling Nest goes down, but it's already almost 6 minutes. Oh, Queens are well positioned, but they're off creep. They're going to do damage to the medevac, but at what cost? You don't have creep, which means no transfuse. Does lose a queen, but the Lings get there to support just in time. At the end of the day, getting the medevac deep in the red, I think, is a win for REYNOR. Clem scans. He says, okay, I kept you off a fourth that whole time. That's great for me. Just gives him context of where his opponent's up to. He's got Reapers behind the mineral line defending the third. Tank's starting to come out. So he's not playing Widow Mines, even though we know REYNOR loves to play Mutas on this map. And I think it makes sense because REYNOR's lair is so late. The pressure has been so good for Clem. Even though he doesn't know the lair's that late, he knows he's exerted a lot of pressure. It's very hard to get up to Mutalisks when you're dealing with an onslaught of Reapers, into the double medevac drop, into now a Marine tank push. So Clem is not giving him time, even if he was trying to play Mutas, to get to that stage. And this is a nasty spot, man. Look at this. He's going to bait the Lings into that tank zone repeatedly. Queens could cause him troubles, though. Those medevacs are pretty low. REYNOR's doing a good job of just holding it off with Queens alone for now. 1-1 upgrade's almost done. Baneling speed starts the second that lair's done. Big thanks, shut your traps, mate. Holy crudsicles. Oh, here we go. Marines coming in, focusing the hatchery a little bit, but REYNOR's being really patient. REYNOR's being incredibly patient right now. He's not pulling the trigger on this flank. Infestation Pit comes down for REYNOR. He's thinking about Ultras. He has not started the hatchery on the right side of the map. REYNOR's building 8 drones right now. I don't know if I agree with that. He doesn't have a 5th hatchery. If he loses this hatchery, he won't be able to spend his lava, even as his money, even as is, because he doesn't have enough lava. Queens are baiting those Marines pretty far forward, but with 4 medevacs, they heal up nicely. And Combat Shields finishes, which is a big power spike there. The Lingbane is waiting to intercept the next wave of reinforcements, but he hasn't managed to catch any yet. If Clem moves out with these units, they will get caught. REYNOR's like, come on, man. Please make a mistake. Please make a mistake. He's going to take the purple base. Oh, I hate this base. This base is so exposed to the central push paths. REYNOR loves it. I think that base on the right is so much better. Even though it's got great tank spots on the ledge above it, it's hard for Terran to get there. Here we go. He finds the Marine reinforce. Oh, Clem's so quick at saving those units. That is actually Clem's special superpower. It's saving units that any other Terran player would lose. The Marines coming on the left side. The Queen's starting to get focused down. They do get 1 medevac, but you don't want to lose all those Queens. That is a wall that has kept you going so far, and now they're all out of energy. They are dried up. Those Queens are dry as a husk. They've spent their youth defending this Marine push. Now it's on the Lingbane to make that worthwhile. 71 drones for REYNOR. Hive is past halfway. 4th command center starts for Clem about 20 seconds ago. He's got Drilling Claws, +1 vehicle plating, 2-2 on the way. Looks like he's going to swap into Widowmine play, which is very good versus Lingbane, but Ultras will do quite okay. Marine drop on the right. Queens are going to be in position. Not much transfuse available for him. And REYNOR does pull back the weak Queen. Well done. This tank position's still here. Very annoying to deal with. REYNOR wants to get rid of this. Just clear this up. Lingbane going to go for a bit of a flanky flank. All you need is Zerglings to go after the tanks. And the tanks will get, 1 or 2 more good Baneling shots here. Oh, ow. But better to clear that up now. The creep has already been heavily delayed on that side. Oh, he gets a full medevac. REYNOR's first big pickup in this game. Clem's been in the driver's seat the whole time, but he kills that medevac. He regains a bit of control on this side. He does need to split his army up right now, and he needs to get the creep going. Look at this, a new army's coming down the right. He needs to kind of split things up and deal with this before Clem gets too much momentum. Clem's swapping to triple Widowmine production. The triple drop on the left gets defended. Clem actually decides to pull back on the right side and play it a little bit more cautious. I love this depot. Mostly surrounded, bunker mostly surrounded by depots there on that third. He's got like just enough obstruction to make it difficult for REYNOR to push in. REYNOR building extra hatcheries, macro hatcheries. As I said, losing that base was going to ruin his ability to produce units, but he's doing a good job with his inject, so he's starting to get through that bank now. Vipers are out. They're gathering energy. If he can get blinding clouds across these tanks, I think REYNOR might have the numbers, but he's being forced to fight before he's ready. His base is just so exposed, so easy to push. And that's always the problem with this base. You have to just give it up a lot of the time. REYNOR wisely backs off. He's down in supplies significantly. If he could deal with this army, that could be big. Big blinding cloud. Big, juicy blinding cloud. Watch out for the Widowmine on the right side. Oh, Parasitic Bomb's getting some big damage. Oh, the Widowmine! To end all Widowmines. REYNOR needs to pull back, but he might be triggered by that Widowmine shot into overcommitting. He's got to pull back and make more Banelings right now. Oh, more Widowmines landing on his army. Not as big as that first giant one, but still very effective. Those Widowmines got big hits. Clem senses that he's got the advantage, and oh my god, more Widowmines! Clem is in REYNOR's face, and he is pushing for the victory right now. That was a very, very good series of engagements for Clem. REYNOR not quite able to angle. The Baneling gets a big juicy right in the center of those Marines, but there's still more where that came from. The Medevac's healing them up. They get the hatchery. They're moving in deeper. Here we go. Parasitic Bomb will get rid of their healing. Nicely done in that regard. Blinding Cloud on the Marines as well. More Widow Mine shots. Yes, some of the Widow Mines do take out a few Marines, but all the Zerglings are going down. There's so few Banelings. REYNOR hanging on for dear life right now. CLEM, he's got a bit of urgency. You can feel he feels like he's got the advantage. He doesn't want to just give this up and pull back and let it go late game. He says, let's just finish it now if I think I can. And there we go. Parasitic Bombs all over those Medevacs. Good spready from CLEM, though. CLEM's got Widow Mines. He's got Marines. He's clearing the creep on the right side. He's putting REYNOR in the corner right now. REYNOR does not like being in the Zerg naughty corner. You guys know he hates playing this map in general, but especially right now, I do feel that purple gas base always gives the Terran a good engagement. I think it is such a trap. That purple gas base, if you ask me, it is basically, I think, a huge problem. I think he just took those fights a bit before he was ready, where if REYNOR had a little bit more time to prepare defending this base up here, the base on the left, the base in the top right, I just think they are better expansions. I know some people would disagree with me on that, but I'm pretty adamant about this, that if you're better than your opponent, you get away with the purple gas base, but when you're very evenly matched or they're stronger than you, they will always punish you for trying to get away with this central base, because that middle area is the worst place for Zerg to fight, and you're within spitting distance of it. Widowmine Bio stimming up the left side. They're going to go in on that base as well. Widowmine's going to try and fire. Oh, the friendly fire! The traitor mines! REYNOR prays to the Zerg gods. He says, please, 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 now more than ever, I need something, please. And he does get the Widow Mines turning on their own kind. Remember, guys, they haven't done the AI patch on those Widow Mines in the Kaprulu sector. The Terran engineers that made it, they were the lowest bidders on the contract. Remember, Mengsk was like, wait, these guys are going to build the Widowmine AI for $20? Oh yeah, let's get them. And the other company's like, you know that we're a premium service. We'll actually make sure the Widowmine AI is good, right? And they're like, screw it. What's the real difference? We'll just give the Widowmine AI to the lowest bidder. And that's what you end up with sometimes, is a whole big lot of friendly fire. REYNOR's still on the ropes, though. He's got Ultras, +3 Kindness Plating coming in. His Vipers are getting crazy good value, but the Lingbane numbers are so low that he's constantly at that break point where he might just get overwhelmed by the sheer numbers of CLEM. Watch out. Oh, another good Widow Mine shot. Remember, Clem's also very good at retargeting these Widow Mines a lot of the time. Baneling's trying to roll in. The Marauders soaking up all the Banelings. There's still a pack of Marines behind that. REYNOR's numbers very low. He needs these Parasitic Bombs. He's going to throw a few more out. Watch out for the Widow Mines, though. Widow Mines coming in and burrowing there. He's going to burrow some Banelings in the middle of the fight. Oh, big boom! Big boom boom! Nothing, no one out there plays like REYNOR on the ropes. You put REYNOR on the ropes, and you will see some of the best Zerg vs Terran play that I have ever witnessed in my 13 years of watching, playing, and loving this game. REYNOR fighting like an absolute monster, like some sort of eldritch beast from the goddamn deep dark that's been summoned from another plane of existence. No other Zerg can fight from behind like him, but he's not out of the woods yet. He's not out of the woods yet. CLEM still has the numbers on the front line. He's still got the micro ability. Those Vipers almost killing the hatchery with Consume. Remember, guys, upcoming patch is going to resume Consume damage. This is not on that patch yet. He has to stop. He does stop sucking the energy off the hatchery. The Ling Ultra Viper trying to come forward. No Banelings anymore in the mix. He's relying on the Ultras for the splash damage. Oh, Widowmine does kill a lot of Zergers, but it does a lot of friendly fire. The Viper's taking out the Medevacs. REYNOR, sensing that this fight's going his way, he smashes the Medevacs. But oh no! That's why that did so well, because CLEM was microing Widow Mines on the top right. He loses an Ultra on the retreat. 17 drones go down in the top right side of the map. REYNOR's fighting like a champ, but his economy is down at 62 workers, and CLEM is securing a 6th base on the right side. If he can transfer SCVs over there and get that going, that's going to be a disaster for REYNOR. REYNOR's got very limited anti-air. He's got 9 queens, but they're not very mobile on the left side. Oh no, that hatchery, which he got very heavily damaged, and now the Widow Mine's burrowing in. The Baneling's taking out the Widow Mines. Looks like the Widow Mine drop, I believe, went down in the top of the map. I didn't get a chance to see what happened there, but oh, Widow Mines, there's just so many of them. The Ghosts pop the Ultralisk. 3 snipes pop it instantly. And losing this hatchery is too much. REYNOR squeezed a bunch of drones out in the midst of this. I don't even know how he managed to do that. The Widow Mines blasting his Zerglings. The Bio Ghost pulls back to the corner. REYNOR needs to hold this, but with no more Vipers, the Medevacs don't have a threat. The Ultra will get on top, but the Bio picks up and says, nah, 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 you don't have things that shoot up. Does redrop in the mineral line right now at the same time. He's diving on the right side. Parasitic Bomb comes in. He's trying to get more energy off these extractors, but those extractors will die very quickly. The double drop will get cleaned up, but not before another push hits the right side. side. REYNOR is down in income for the last 5 minutes of this game. And oh, Widowmine catches 5 drones trying to retreat. Ultras get on top, but not before the base goes down. CLEM, so good at saving these units. Tries to redrop on the left side. Ultra does end up taking it out, but look at the income, guys. Income is going to be dropping drastically for REYNOR. He just lost 2 of his most important mining bases. He's down to about 2,000 minerals a minute. It is 3,000 plus for CLEM, and CLEM is at a 40 supply advantage. REYNOR is hanging on. He's trying to make infestors, more banelings, but these widow mines are still here. They could waddle forward and blow up those drones. Hatchery's trying to rebuild. REYNOR fights like a goddamn hellspawn. He truly does, and I am forever impressed by it, but he's doing it from such a bad position that it is just so hard to bring it back from here. Ling's coming in from 2 sides, but there's a planetary there. He just cannot get in. That rally is too thick right now. CLEM, well set up. Vipers right now need to go get energy. Oh, no! Snipe! Oh, no, another snipe! 2 Vipers go down! Those 3 Vipers were his renewable resource. Oh, and that Widowmine gets some Banes as well. They were the one thing giving him value this whole time. Burrowed Infestor sneaking in behind Terran lines, but these Widowmines never got cleaned up, which means this whole area is mined. It is set up for the next follow-up push. He's going to have Fungal soon. He's going to go for one big Fungal engage, but he's got so few Ultra Ling units to actually capitalize on it. And look at this. CLEM is posturing forward on 2 sides at once. The Infestor on the right is quite far behind. The Ultra's coming in. Another Infestor has popped out. The Ultra's taking damage, though. At the same time, Ling Backstab gets in. This time it finds an open rally. He's going to get on top of those units and do some damage. That's going to do something to CLEM. Will it do enough? The Infestor looking for the Fungal. That's a big Fungal. A second Fungal goes on top. The Widow Mines friendly fire the Medivacs, and yet they survive deep in the red and barely get out. The loss of those Vipers, the lack of the parasitic bombs to follow up there was a big issue. The Lings are doing damage cleaning up starports. REYNOR getting bailing Ultra in the middle, and he needs to move this Ultra up here. Notice he's focusing the repairing SCVs with those 2 Ultras. He should be able to take out this base, but wait, Marine Marauder coming in from behind. The Ling's getting a decent fight. The Medivacs are healing. He needs another parasitic bomb, but the Medivacs boost out. CLEM aware of the threat they pose. No. He's got to get this base. He's got to get it. He does. REYNOR takes out the base on the right side, but his Ling backstab's being cleaned up. His Ultra's getting hunted down. Those Stim Marauders chasing them. They are faster than the Ultra is. It's 4.13 versus about 5. The Lings try to save the Ultra, but oh no, the Widowmine from the rally drags it into the Ultra, and that is an Ultra that he cannot afford to lose. He's got a new hatchery on the left side, one in the middle as well. Wow, what a game of StarCraft. REYNOR has fought so well. Any other Terran would have crumbled under this amount of pressure, or any other Zerg, would have crumbled under this amount of Terran pressure. At the end of the day, he will fall, but he will go down fighting like an absolute beast. I am so impressed with how REYNOR fought here from behind. I do think he was kind of on the back foot from the early game, but that purple base that he took after losing the left base, I think that was one of the biggest issues. And just being so slow to retake another base elsewhere. The Vipers get EMP'd. Nice move by CLEM. Look at this spready. That is the spready to the gods right there. CLEM saying, praise our Lord and Savior, God Emperor Mengsk. We will take down these dirty bugs and get them the heck out of here. Infestor tries to unburrow. It does land a very juicy Fungal, but there's nothing to capitalize. 2 Queens to try to deal with the Lib. 1 Ultra trying to 1v26 the Marine Marauder army. And CLEM comes out on top at the end of an action-packed series of absolutely incredible Zerg vs. Terran from both sides.